What did you admire in pirates?
Freedom. The freedom. Before I started doing any of the research, you know, there was the kind of the residue from childhood, the leftover idea of that, yeah, that romantic image, you know, the out on the ocean, wind in the hair, adventure, treasure, women, that sort of thing. Then you do the research about pirates and you read historical accounts and you find out what a nasty way of life it was. I mean, the survival rate was really, really low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I saw you on screen, I thought like you're burning, you know, like you had such a joy to be Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, I did.
And you developed the character somehow. What did you bring, or how did you approach Jack?
Well, a couple of different ways. He's kind of he's an interesting combination of things, people and things. Keith Richards was certainly a great inspiration for the character. Not in the sense of like a character study or an imitation of Keith by any means, but like there's a certain gracefulness he has and a wit and a wisdom that I find fascinating. Also, there was a cartoon character who was very popular in the 60s, 70s, named Pepe Le Pew, who was a skunk. He was sort of a great inspiration. I don't know, I always saw Captain Jack as this weird, like an organism, you know, like a strange organism who was able to, he was constantly moving but changing his shape in order to fit the situation, in order to get what he wanted for himself. You know, and at the same time, like the guy at the party with the perpetual martini glass. You know? And that was sort of him for me.
Orlando just was like all happy, and he talked about you, and he said he learned so much from you because you are kind of a role model for him.
Wow.
How is it for you? You know, you have a 4 now in your age in the front. Does age mean anything to you? Does it?
No, no. It only means that you have less responsibility in a sense, you know, in terms of, yeah, you're no longer a kid, certainly, anymore, which is great. It's a great feeling. No, age doesn't mean anything. I remember when I turned 30, like the first thing you think about when you turn 30 is 40. You skip 10 years right away. And it's not that you worry, but you kind of, you know, it's like, oh my God, I'll be 40, I'll be 40, I'll be 40. So by the time you reach 40, it's really welcome, you know. It's a great place to be.
It is, yes, I know.
Yeah.
I'm older than you, so I know. You have 2 kids now. You also did the movie because you wanted to show something to your kids, or somehow you thought of them doing it. They're a little bit too young still, but why was that so important for you?
Well, it was just the idea of doing something, doing a film that would be, yeah, accessible to them, you know. Like, my boy is a little bit young at the moment, but in a few years, I think he'll love watching this movie. My daughter's 4. I think she'll be fine. I think she's ready for it. Maybe a little bit, you know, dark in places, but I think she'll be fine with it. Yeah, just to do something that my kids could watch and understand, you know, on some level anyway, right away.
And being proud of to say, that's that.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's certainly your hope with all the work, you know. My hope with all the work is that someday they'll watch this stuff and be proud. But you know, at 4, 5, 6 years old, I don't think my daughter's going to be watching Ed Wood or Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas going, great work, Dad, you know. I think maybe they'll have to wait a while for that one.
Last question. Is it hard to be a dad and being a role model for the kids, you know? For young actors, maybe yes, but to be a role model, do you grow in that role, or does it come naturally?
Well, I mean, being a dad came very, very naturally. Just, yeah, I mean, it's like having kids. It doesn't change you, it reveals you for who you are, what you are. And, but in terms of being a role model, I never really saw myself as a role model, you know. I mean, in my 40 years, especially the first 35, I I stepped in shit many, many, many times, you know, and learned from it. You know. So I never thought of myself as a role model. I just kind of thought of myself as a, yeah, a student, you know.